let's make a green smoothie. Always got to start the day with a green smoothie. It's part of the morning routine. I already prepped some of this. I've got spinach, pumpkin seeds, blueberries, some protein powder from 22 Days Nutrition. I'm gonna do a little greens from Juicero to add to it. A little ginger. Put a little mucuna in there. Some bee pollen. So I don't have any one specific recipe. Most of the time it just depends on what we happen to have on hand. We have like 7 people living in the house, so mucuna pruriens, good for brain function, nervous system, mood elevator. Who doesn't like a good mood elevator? See a little bit of that. And then some omega-3s. Essentially, you're taking tons of plant food that's super nutrient dense, packed with everything you need to function to your peak capacity, and it's highly condensed and tons of fiber in it. So to sit down and actually eat everything that's in here as if it was a salad would be totally overwhelming, especially in the morning. But to be able to condense it down into liquid form, it's essentially pre-digested, so your body doesn't have to work very hard to absorb all the minerals and vitamins and nutrients that are in here. Taste test. Actually tastes pretty good. It's not that bad. It's not amazing taste-wise, but it's how it makes you feel. That's the important thing. So, good way to start your day. Getting a late start. It's freaking hot out. It says 80. There's no way it's 80. It's definitely hotter than that. Although not as hot as it was a couple days ago. It's brutal. So for those who don't know, I'm training for this race called Italia. I think that's how you pronounce it in Swedish. In the United States, we would call it Otillo. It's the Swim Run World Championships. It's a swimming and running ultra race that takes place in the archipelago south of Stockholm. Over the course of one day, you ultimately end up running about 40 miles and swimming about 10 kilometers, 6 miles, but there's 52 transitions. So essentially you're swimming in these cold waters and climbing up on rocks and running across little islands, jumping back in the water, running across another island, switch, run, swim, run, swim, run, swim, run, swim. And it's been a great experience at 50 to see what my body is capable of. I haven't raced since 2011. This is the first race that I will have competed in 5 years. So we're over here at Malibu Creek State Park, which is kind of my backyard training grounds. Beautiful state park land with trails for just miles and miles and miles. Incredibly beautiful and picturesque. So my truck is sort of like a mobile training unit. I like to keep it pretty organized, high and tight. I have a million different pairs of running shoes in here. Running shoes for all different kinds of terrain. These are like tempo road running shoes. These are my trail shoes. This is what I'm going to wear today. These are like average running shoes. Those as well. Have my backpack for hydration for the longer runs. My heart rate monitor, very important. I keep here. And then super important, which sunglasses am I going to wear? All right, let's hit the trails. When I was 39 years old, on the cusp of turning 40, I was 50 pounds overweight. I had been an athlete in college, but that was very much in my rearview mirror. It was in my past. I was a junk food addict. I was not taking care of myself physically, mentally, or emotionally. And I had a health scare shortly before my 40th birthday. I decided to change my life. It didn't happen overnight. It wasn't easy. It wasn't linear. But ultimately, I found vitality through a plant-based diet. It really restored my physical body back to health and wellness. 2017 Otillo in September in Sweden will mark a return to competition for me, and it's going to be interesting. One of the challenges has been when I was training for Ultraman and Epic 5, my life was a lot simpler. I didn't have that much going on. I could focus on training with a level of intentionality that I just can't afford right now. I have a lot of other things going on in my life, a lot of travel. Going to Portland tomorrow to give a talk. I come back for like 2 days. We go to Ireland to lead a retreat. So obviously those are not optimal circumstances for training. And I have to be okay with that because I'm not willing to sacrifice all these other amazing opportunities that I have to spread a healthy message, to empower people, to help people in order to serve this athletic goal. All right, let's go to the beach. A question that comes up all the time is, aren't you just addicted to endurance training and endurance racing? And my answer to that is no. I'm not addicted to running, I'm not addicted to swimming, I'm not addicted to cycling, because these things don't detract from my life. They don't denigrate my life. They're not destroying my life, they are nourishing my life. It's our 14th anniversary today. I'm out training. I should be thinking about what Julie and I are going to do to celebrate tonight. We're taught from a very early age that we should live a balanced life, that we should eat a balanced diet. But what does balance really mean? And I've put a lot of thought into this. Like, what does balance mean for me? If I am spending all this time out on the trail, then I'm not attending to other areas in my life. At the same time, when I reflect back on my life, the moments when I felt most alive, training for these Ultraman races, participating in Epic 5, the training that I'm doing now, writing the books that I've written, that's when I feel most alive. And those are not necessarily balanced activities. Those are activities that require an unbelievable amount of devotion and dedication and focus and tunnel vision. So if you were to look at my life in the micro on an hour-by-hour basis or on a day-to-day basis, it may not look balanced because I'm spending more time training than the average human being. But if you zoom that telescope out and you look at my life from 10,000 feet and evaluate it over the course of several months or the course of a year, I think you will find that it is very balanced. It's just that that pendulum swings back and forth. It will swing all the way to the side as I go in deep to do the work that I do. Ultimately, that's fine as long as it swings back and I make sure that the important things in my life, again, my relationships, my finances, my profession, my children, all of the really key ingredients to living a fulfilling, happy, purposeful life, that those are in check. So I think it's the approach that you bring to the activities that enrich your life. And there's something to be said for casting aside the traditional idea of what balance is and embracing the idea that going all in on something is not necessarily a negative thing. In fact, that might be the one thing that will bring you back to life and engage you in your journey in a way that you may have never experienced, and then gird your experience with purpose, with meaning, in a way that you can then give back and be of service. I really like making these videos. I've got to find a way to do it sustainably within the construct of everything else that I'm doing. but they're super fun. And if you like it, subscribe, leave a comment below, let me know what you thought.